Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
we're here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm still stretching.
Yep.
Ow.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for your patience during the long intro. I don't know what was going on. Twitch was being weird, but
As
it seems to be
as
fine
usual,
now.
like
Yeah, everything.
30 seconds before we begin, there's some sort of like error message. Like, wait, what? What does this mean?
Wait, you guys want to stream a show right now?
Yeah. Twitch is like, no, Twitch. You can't use Twitch today. And we're like, wait, why?
Yeah.
We're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Now it says Twitch isn't working, so Brandon checked Twitch and verified that it is in fact working.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now on Twitch.
So
it's working.
Yeah. This is some kind of like poltergeist Twitch stream. It's here but not. Anyway.
But we're here.
Yeah, we're here. Welcome to the show.
We got the chat going on down that Nate figured out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we should do the intro thing that we talked about doing last time so that when I say Nate, people know that I'm talking about you.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I'm Nate. I'm Nate, a.k.a. Black Market Dub, and this is my partner, Brandon.
I'm Brandon, Wise Owl, Visnick.
You know what?
Yes.
We specifically talked about we would write this down, like this intro, and we had a whole tech day the other day and didn't even bring it up, and we forgot. But
yeah, because we spent like 2.5 hours working on technical stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't finish what we wanted to finish. There was definitely more than 2.5 hours worth of technical stuff to finish.
Yep.
We did make progress. It was good. It was worth doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, we didn't even get close to the point of like getting to do creative stuff. Like,
yeah. Or
should we write an intro?
Yeah.
What else should we do? Like, no, it was all trying to get my computer to stop ruining our party.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're back. Episode 21. We didn't mention that last week was our 20th episode, which is pretty awesome that we've managed to pull this off 20 plus times now.
Good job, Nate.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So yeah, today on the show, we were going to, the plan is we're going to debut The War of the Worlds today. I just finished final mixes, masters, and the videos all yesterday. Kind of banged it all out over the course of actually 2 days. I got to do everything. It's really awesome. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It'll be released either during the stream today or tonight. I think I might just debut it during. I might just release it on Bandcamp during the stream today because that'd be fun. But all the videos are done. So today we figured we'd just do a watch party and watch all the videos, which I think we did. Did we do that for Halloween or what did we do that for?
It's a good question. Yeah, we definitely did do some sort of a watch party. Blondie, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Blondie, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, and so we're going to do that today. We're going to do some more viewer emails.
Oh yeah.
Viewer mail. We didn't get any new emails, but there was a couple more from
come on, y'all.
from our guy last week, so we'll read a couple more of those.
Old viewer mail. Yeah.
Old mail. What else? On a down note, fucking Robbie Shakespeare died last night.
The passing of Robbie Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, top tier.
Yeah.
Most influential, most creative, most contributing reggae musicians in the history of Jamaican music.
Yeah.
Passed away yesterday.
It's really sad. It's been a bad couple years for reggae legends. We've lost quite a few. It's It's so shitty, man. I mean, I was talking to Brandon this week about it, and sorry, yesterday and a little bit before the stream today, but he passed away at 68, and it's just in this day and age, like 68 is it's not as old as it used to be. So anytime anybody dies that young, it's just really particularly sad. I mean, the guy was obviously bursting with creativity and had so much to give the world of music, and I have no doubt would have continued at his current clip forever, into his 80s, 90s if he could have, so it's just a bummer. And for those of you that don't know who Robbie Shakespeare is, he was the bass player component of the duo Sly and Robbie. So Sly Dunbar, the drummer, Robbie Shakespeare, the bass player. The two of them together were, I mean, easily the most foundational, strongest backbone of like roots reggae, maybe ever. From what I've gathered about them over the years, I mean, they're one of those duos that, like, if you just look on the back of any reggae album, you should not be surprised if you see Sly and Robbie in the band, like, because they're just super prolific. But I remember reading, and I'd love if someone in the chat wants to correct this or what, but I remember reading a few years ago that Sly and Robbie are the most recorded musicians of all time. Like, really? the two of them are featured on more individual recordings that have been released than like anybody ever. And the Wikipedia discography for those two is partial. It's a partial list of a partial list. Like, because I remember seeing, I was telling Brandon, I remember seeing their actual list, which I'm positive was probably not even a full list, but it was thousands and thousands and thousands of songs, like just ridiculous amounts of songs. And not just reggae. They were huge in the pop world with like No Doubt and Grace Jones and Bob Dylan and Mick Jagger and like just everybody under the sun, like they worked with. So I don't know. It's particularly sad for the world of reggae. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid with some reggae CDs and a pair of headphones, trying to figure out how to play bass and guitar. I learned guitar and bass at the same time, and but yeah, it's during that period of time when I was in like 10th, 11th grade, just trying to get every last detail that I could about how to do reggae in particular, how to play that like properly, like the right way.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time with Robbie Shakespeare and his bass and all those not all those recordings, but a lot of those recordings, just like trying to zone in on every little detail,
Yeah, and for you as a bass player, I'm sure it's just like with how like nuanced you are and particular you are about people's styles, like I can picture that. I really can picture you like digging into some Sly and Robbie like that. So
yeah, and it's been trippy because I mean to be completely honest with you, there's like 3 or 4 of like the triple A list, the greatest reggae bass players of all time. Robbie Shakespeare is one of them. And to be completely honest with you, I personally, at least consciously, tried to take more inspiration from some of the other ones besides him. I just, preferred the style of some of the other guys besides him.
Like Family Man, or
to be honest with you, in particular, like Flabba Holt and Leroy Sibbles.
Oh, okay.
To me, are like the the two whose style I liked the most and tried to copy the most.
Mm-hmm.
But today, after him passing away, I went and did some reading about his life, and one thing that I learned is pretty much exactly the same way that I was like studying him and all the other bass players when I was a kid, when I was young. When Robbie Shakespeare was young, that is pretty much exactly what he was doing with Family Man.
That's amazing.
So Robbie Shakespeare was a kid when Family Man was established already.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky Robbie, he comes from the same neighborhood as
Yeah.
Family Man. So he would like watch him and study him and like ask him stuff. And Family Man gave Robbie Shakespeare bass lessons when he was a kid.
And for anybody who's watching who doesn't know who Family Man is, he was the bass player for Bob Marley and the Wailers. So he was a particularly big deal.
Among other and the upsetters for like a lot of the golden years too. But yeah, right. Most famous for me, he's Bob Marley's bass player.
Yeah.
But freaking, what was I saying? But the point was, so I was reading about his life and a lot of the music that he wrote, and it turns out that a lot of there are a lot of songs and a lot of recordings and a lot of bass lines that I didn't realize were Robbie Shakespeare.
Wow.
So this whole time up until doing the research that was prompted because he died, I was under the impression that Robbie Shakespeare had less of an influence on me than he actually did.
Yeah, the one you played in particular, I was just like, oh, fuck, that's Robbie Shakespeare.
Shakademus and the Pliers, that Bam Bam rhythm. It's, the backing track for Bam Bam and for Murder, She Wrote by Shakademus and the Pliers. I didn't realize that's Sly and Robbie.
I didn't either.
Right Time by the Mighty Diamonds, which is like usually the first, whenever somebody asks me the question, like, what are like the greatest reggae albums of all time? What should I listen to? Like usually Right Time is the first one that I say. I didn't even realize that that's him too.
Yep.
So
it's pretty amazing. Yeah. And, given how prolific he was, I would expect more of that in the next, for the rest of our lives. We're like, shit's just going to pop up and we're going to be like, oh, fuck, that's Robbie Shakespeare too. Like, goddamn. Yeah. And you were saying, what was the No Doubt album he produced that is sick?
I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of the album. I think it's Rocksteady or something.
Isn't it like their early 2000s or like late 90s era, I think?
Yeah, early 2000s. It came out when we were in high school. And there's two songs on it in particular. Well, one in particular that really stood out to me. There's the song Underneath It All.
Oh, yeah. Huge hit.
Dude, I remember when that came out.
Such a good song.
And it was like, all of a sudden, it's like real reggae.
Yep.
That they're playing.
Like top 40 radio. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good song. I am obsessed with that song. I love that song.
Yeah.
And she's so hot in the video. Oh my God. Hey,
Gwen, come on our stream. Fuck Blake, come on our stream.
Yeah, we're way cool.
We're way cooler. Come back to your roots, Gwen.
But that was Sly and Robbie.
Yeah. Insane. And likewise, for anybody that knows me for the other half of my musical life, which is more kind of folk rock, alt country kind of stuff, and same with Brandon. We were in like a folk rock, like alt country band for a long time together. Sly and Robbie played on a Bob Dylan album from the early 80s called Infidels with Mark Knopfler, and it's really sick. It's a really cool album. It's not like one of Dylan's best albums. It was the first album he did coming off of his Shady Christian trilogy that he did. So it was his first album after that stuff, and the cool thing about it is it's Bob Dylan doing his thing, it's Mark Knopfler doing his thing, and Sly and Robbie doing their thing. And by that I mean they're just playing reggae rhythms while everyone
Wow.
else is just doing their thing.
And it's only the drums and the bass. It's not the rest of the band.
yeah,
doing
there's
reggae.
no
Wow.
skank, there's no like upbeat stuff or anything like that. It's just they are
Wow.
straight up playing reggae shit, while Bob Dylan strums his guitar over it, and Mark Knopfler is playing his guitar,
Tweedly
and
tum.
yeah, and
Wow.
it works remarkably well. The album itself is not like, you know, top 10 Dylan necessarily, although it is really good. But just for that fact alone, like I've always loved checking that album out because it's just such a unique pairing and just meeting of the minds and you know, just the way it worked out. You just would think it wouldn't work as well as it does, but it really, really does. And it just goes to, you know, it's a testament to those two guys that, you know, they can remain true to their sound while also being like liquid enough that, you know, if Bob Dylan holds out a cup, they can fill it, you know, like they know how to do that, you know,
Yeah.
and especially like with someone like Dylan, who's particularly weird and hard to deal with in the studio, like, you know, it's just remarkable. It's really cool. And I sent this video to Brandon last night, but there's a video that just came out like this year, and maybe it's been around longer, but I'd never seen it, and I definitely never seen it in this quality. But it's a really high quality like music video, basically, that they shot all in the studio at the Power Station in New York, which is a really cool studio in New York City. And it's just Mark Knopfler, Dylan, Sly and Robbie just in the studio, like playing one of the tunes. And it's really cool. I would highly recommend people look it up and check it out if you're a fan of Dylan or Sly and Robbie.
Yeah, I saw somebody say in one of the obituaries about Robbie Shakespeare that Bob Dylan, not Bob Dylan, the other Bob Marley, was the one who like brought reggae to the world outside of Jamaica, and brought the rest of the world into Jamaica to understand reggae and hear reggae and be exposed to reggae and love reggae.
Yeah.
But Robbie and Sly Dunbar were the ones after that who like brought the legitimacy of the Jamaican musicians, the legitimacy of the reggae musicians to other styles of music outside of reggae.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who kind of blazed that trail.
Yep.
Sort of in a similar way to Lee Perry, who we recently honored.
Yeah.
Kind of did a similar thing in terms of like record production. Should also mention too, Sly and Robbie were producers as well as musicians. You know, they weren't just session guys. You know,
Yep.
they had their own record label. They had Taxi Records. They produced all kinds of stuff. I mean, they were responsible for Black Uhuru. That's like
huge, amazing band.
And that's one of the things that blew up reggae's popularity outside of reggae, outside of just people who listen to Jamaican like West Indies music and stuff. You know.
Yeah. I think this album. I'm gonna show it on the screen.
That's the one.
I'm gonna blow it up just so it's not very big, but whatever. If anybody has never listened to this album by Black Uhuru, it's called Red. It is so fucking good. It's one of my
on your list of the greatest.
Yeah, that's one like that for me is a go-to. It's a staple. And you know what? I discovered it while we were living together in our apartment. But yeah, and I remember taking a chance on it too because I'd never really listened to Black Uhuru, but it's just so heavy. It's so good. It's pretty incredible. And I'm pretty sure Sly and Robbie are on it. Let me make sure though.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely are.
Because they were like the the
They're
guys
like-
behind them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That whole sound, it's a
Oh, yeah.
very distinctive sound and a very copied sound.
Yeah, produced by
that-
Sly and Robbie.
That album, like, freaking made, like, 90s reggae. Like,
Yeah.
the 90s reggae sound. It like, changed. It's still, the way that reggae is made is still not the same after that.
Yep.
It's, like, completely Sly and Robbie who made that sound.
Which is amazing because that album came out in 81.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, they were...
I must have my facts wrong then.
No, I think...
I thought
I don't...
that was like 91.
No, it's
Wow,
81,
okay.
but I still don't think it invalidates what you said about 90s reggae. I think that, you know, they were that ahead of the curve because when I first heard it, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, this is some like weird 90s reggae like that I've never really dug into.
The sound is really distinct from everything that came before.
Yeah, it's very distinct. You know, much like, you know, their albums from the 80s that like, you know, if you didn't have them, you wouldn't have like grunge or whatever. You know, it's like kind of a similar thing. I can definitely see what you're saying, that it probably did really influence a lot of 90s stuff. But yeah, man, rest in peace, Robbie Shakespeare. Goddamn. I hope we don't have to do. I hope we never have to do a show like this again, where we have to like fucking in memoriam somebody. But
Yeah.
man, we're living in. It's like we're lucky enough that we get to look back on the entirety of the 20th century. And put it in context and to be able to like view, you know, its entire output collectively, you know, from the artists that came from that time period. And it's amazing that we can do that, but also we're in the unfortunate time in the same way that, you know, we have to watch a lot of these guys go, which just sucks because for us, it's like, these are our heroes. These are people that inspired us to make music from when we were children. You know, so on one hand, it's like, I'm so grateful we get to like just dig through their whole discography. We don't have to wait our whole lives to watch what they put out. We can just, you know, it's all on demand. We could call it up anytime we want, and it's really great. But, you know, the downside to that is, you know, days like today where we have to say goodbye. So rest in peace, Robbie Shakespeare. Goddamn.
Rest in peace, Robbie Shakespeare.
Yeah.
The dub acknowledgement for you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, we're gonna not forget about him. We're gonna keep on honoring him. It's not the end.
Right.
And there are
And
some other...
Sly's still out there.
Yeah, he is.
No doubt Sly's going to still be playing on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man. Imagine that for him.
Ugh, God. I can't. It's insane.
But yeah, let's keep thinking about him. And there's some other stuff that we have to celebrate and to share with people today, right?
Yep.
So your new EP, Black Market's next EP,
Yes.
War of the Worlds. Okay, so if you watch this stream regularly, you've probably gotten more War of the Worlds EP coverage than you want.
Yeah.
Probably we've been streaming.
It's
the
been wall
making
to
of
wall
this a lot.
It's been wall to wall. We've
Yeah.
we've done whole streams on tuning our guitars to play War of the Worlds at this point.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people, you'll be happy to know that this
is the last one.
This is the last one. This is which we've said before.
Yeah, we have.
But this has to be the last one because we're releasing it now.
We're releasing it today.
And it's hard to work on something after it's done.
Yes, correct. Although I've done that.
Really? You keep working on something after it's already released?
Yeah, there was the Batman EP that I did with Dub Robot.
Yeah.
He, I'm gonna say it was my fault. I'm not gonna say it was Wallace's fault, but somehow
Okay. Good that you're not gonna say that.
somehow the horn stems he sent me were like an eighth note off. And I remember listening to it and being like, oh, this is weird. Like, this is so strange the way he played this, but it's really cool. Like, I dig it. You know, I like whatever Wallace sends me, I'll just put it on. I'll release it how he sent it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I released it. I sent him the link, and he goes, "Oh, yeah,
That's all wrong.
That's wrong." And luckily, it was only for one of the songs. But I just was like, "Oh fuck!" So I had to go back, remix it, redub it, send it to tape again, remaster it, just the one song, and then update the audio. And when I heard how it was supposed to be, I was like, "Oh my god, this is way better, and it makes way more sense, and it's not stupid."
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I did a thing like that too on what is it called? The Working Hour. Which was Wise Owl Sings His Favorites number 3, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just like totally overdid it and just killed the song on the mastering stage, and it just got completely squashed and smashed, and just the mastering of it was no good.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was
remember
like,
this.
I can't stand this anymore. I have to redo it, and I just redid it, re-released it, and just gave it for free to everybody, everybody who bought it, because people paid money for it already. People bought it, you know. And I was like, fuck, it's not a thing. Like I'm sorry, like send me your email address. I'll send you the new version for free. And I made it free for everybody who listened to it, even if they didn't buy it. But yes, that is true. You can keep working on something after it's released, and hopefully that's not going to be the case with this.
No, it won't be. And
But,
Bandcamp makes it kind of easy to just work on stuff in perpetuity, because like all you have to do is just update the audio file. Like the album never has to come down, the song never has to come down. Like you can just one day it'll just be different, and people hopefully will be none the wiser. But
yeah, it makes it easy to be an obsessive OCD tinkerer for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But it's done.
Yes.
So okay, and for the people who, well, for everybody, tell us what's the background of your new EP, of your War of the Worlds EP. What are we about to listen to?
So I grew up reading War of the Worlds as a kid. I think I read it, the first time I read it, I was probably 12 or 13, like perfect age to get into fucking awesome sci-fi.
Yeah.
I saw the Spielberg movie. I liked it. I have always liked Spielberg movies. And
is that the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah, that's the Tom Cruise one.
Okay.
Which is actually, it's pretty good. It's actually not a bad movie. I think it has kind of a bad rap for like, I don't know why.
Because it's bad.
There's
go ahead.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's definitely not a good, like one of his best movies. But I mean, I think it gets a lot of flack because there's a scene where Tom Cruise talks about a peanut butter sandwich to his daughter for like way too long. And it's like, why is this in the fucking movie? But whatever.
At this point, so I saw it once. I saw it when it was new. I can't remember why I thought it was bad. I can't remember the details.
Yeah.
I just remembered the impression of being like, that's like the Happening level bad.
I just
remember feeling that.
I wouldn't,
but I can't remember what happens.
I wouldn't say it's that bad, but what I would say about it is it's Spielberg ripping himself off. It's like very well trodden territory for him, in the sense that like there's a whole scene that is like directly lifted from like the Jurassic Park raptor scene where the raptors are in the kitchen like looking for the girl. It's like the same fucking scene, even with a little blonde girl still. Like it's like down to everything. It's exactly the same. And it's just, and also it came out like right after 9/11, and it was just like this movie about like the whole world being destroyed. It's just like and like an invasion. Like it's one of those movies that like it would come out during that time, you know, when everyone's paranoid about some kind of invasion or the alien. You know, in the sense, you know, we're going to war.
Dude, remember
like
how fucking paranoid everybody was at that time?
It's a really bizarre time
to
to be living in the United States, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's very dingy and dark and gray and blah, and just an ugly looking movie. And I don't know, there's a lot going against it, but I still would maintain it's not like the worst thing in the world. It's definitely not his worst movie, but it's far from his best, that's for sure.
I support your right and your boldness to have an unpopular opinion and
Hell
go
yeah.
against the grain.
Why not?
I support your right to say that bad movies are not bad, Nate. You go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know in the chat. Spielberg's War of the Worlds. What do you think? I don't know. But the one that really got me, which this EP is based on, is the '50s War of the Worlds movie. It's super camp. It's very '50s sci-fi B movie. To me, it's like the ultimate '50s sci-fi B movie. It's like it's cheesy. The effects are very much of the time. They're all very like super analog. Like all the effects are like people like like just finding like things around like their workspace or studio and recording that as like weird sci-fi sound effects. It's just very classic. Like you don't get like Star Trek or like Star Wars like without this movie, especially from like an effects standpoint.
Oh, interesting.
It was just super ahead of its time and really cool, and just like a very, it was definitely, it's an update of the novel, which I think, anyone who's adapting War of the Worlds will do. They're never going to set it in like Victorian England like the book did. There's never going to be a steampunk War of the Worlds, which is what really it should be. But
War of the Worlds is like, in terms of science fiction literature, it's either from the very first generation or it's like proto science fiction. It's
pretty
like
much, yeah.
Early, very, very not even groundbreaking, like ground making.
Yeah.
It's like one of the books that is like inventing a genre.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's old school shit.
Super old school. Like H.G. Wells, Jules Verne.
Yeah.
There's a couple Edgar Allan Poe short stories that you could, like, if you squint, you could think there might be sci-fi.
People say that. I don't really consider that.
Yeah.
In that way, personally.
Well, I'm going to stop myself so we don't go into a tangent, but I could tell you about a particular Edgar Allan Poe story that is argued as the first sci-fi story.
What's the title of it? Maybe I know it. Maybe I don't.
Man, I forget what it's called. It's not like a really popular one. It's not a very big one, but when I was a kid, I bought a book. It was a huge book, and it was the collected works of Edgar Allan Poe. Everything he ever wrote, even his like essays that he wrote in like newspapers and stuff, because that's like how he got paid, is he was like a critic of other writers. Which like must have been brutal. Like if you wake up, you write some fucking thing, and then Edgar Allan Poe is like,
nope,
this sucks. This actually sucks really bad, and I'm gonna write in the paper about it now.
I'm better.
Yeah, pretty much.
My shit is better.
But to put it, I'll be succinct with what the story's about, but it's basically like, this guy owes everybody around town money, right? So after a few months of this shit, this guy like dodging these people who he owes money to, they go to his house and they look for him. He's not there. They go into his workshop because he was like a scientist, I guess, and it's very apparent he was building something, but it's not clear what. And they find his journal, his like workbook, and in the workbook it describes that he built basically a hot air balloon, but it was like the cockpit, I guess you would call it, where you are actually in when the balloon goes up. It was like kind of like an enclosed thing, and in the journal he describes this trip he took where he flies a hot air balloon all the way up, like out of the atmosphere, and he talks about how he brought one of his cats because he wanted to like see what would happen. And he talks about like on the journey up, he didn't realize the cat was pregnant, and the cat like starts giving birth like above like the earth. Like it's all this like insane shit. And then the journal ends, and it's kind of like, oh, and it worked so well, I just decided to take the balloon and fly away, and now I'm gone. So it ends with, oh, and now I'm leaving on my final voyage. I'm gone forever. And and basically the townspeople are like, is this all bullshit? Did he just write this and leave this here and then skip town?
He's
like,
just on a train.
He just like left because he owes us money. Like, is that what happened? And so that's kind of what it leads you to believe at the end, is that like it's he was just some huckster who took everyone's money and then just skipped town and left behind this journal as a way to like throw people off the scent, basically. So it's really interesting story.
Is that science fiction?
Well, I think I haven't read it in a really long time, but I think
is it a story about like ambiguity of whether this man is lying or not? It's kind of a human drama.
Well, the beginning and the end is more about like, is this guy just some bullshitter? But the meat of the story is him like dealing with
fantastic voyage out of the atmosphere and shit.
Yeah, it's and I can't remember all the specifics of that stuff, but like it's him like documenting what happens when you basically go into outer space or whatever.
Okay. All right.
So it's interesting. I kind of agree, though. I don't know if I'd say that's necessarily science fiction, but yeah. And then so back to World of Worlds. There's also the Orson Welles thing, which is for me is like a whole nother thing. Like yes, it was a broadcast and it's Orson Welles and it's really cool, but the more interesting thing about that is everything surrounding it, because the broadcast itself, it's very of its time, it's very dated, it's very 30s newsreely. It's cool. It's it's Orson Welles like in his prime doing a radio drama. It's super cool. But the more interesting thing is that it literally caused the entire United States to go into like a full-on fucking panic. Like that is the more interesting thing. Like sighting that's like the nucleus of like where of like when UFO sightings like started happening in real life is Orson Welles. It's like his fault basically.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so people didn't used to see flying saucers,
not like they do now,
over their cows before Orson Welles. Huh?
I'm sure there was sightings or reports or whatever, but like nothing like after that, especially like that night. Like people were like sitting in their house listening to the radio and would look up at the sky and be like, holy shit, there's one. Fuck.
Oh,
we're fucking fucked right now. There's an alien, and they were just, their minds were just playing tricks on themselves.
Wow.
So to me, the mass hysteria event surrounding that has always been the more interesting element of that particular, version of War of the Worlds. So yeah, that's a little bit of the background context of like why I wanted to do War of the Worlds. I've just always loved the story and everything around it. It's like so fascinating. But
and then what about the music? What up with the music of this?
So the music, there's not a lot of like music that is associated with War of the Worlds necessarily. Especially like from the 50s movie, there's no particularly like strong theme that I wanted to like dub out or do. Like it was just kind of very generic kind of 50s music. It wasn't anything, particularly that stood out. But, I wanted to do kind of a follow-up to the Kung Fu one we did a few months ago, because I got this drum machine recently. And I thought, it'd be fun to utilize that a little bit more. And I really love how the Kung Fu album turned out. The more I listen to it, the more I revisit it, the more I'm like, that was like a triumph in a lot of ways. That, like, for me, it's like I made something I would actually listen to. Like, it's like music that I'd actually want to hear. And so I wanted to go back to that well and try something similar and do another kind of genre thing. Using a drum machine as the backbone and But yeah, I wanted to do something evocative of like 50s sci-fi. So we do like a theremin synth on a lot of the songs. You know, Brandon pointed out that the very intro song is like this. What was the piece of music you said?
It was like,
It's like
Mars,
something.
the bringer of war.
Yeah. Which is complete like just serendipity happenstance. Like
It's crazy because in War of the Worlds, the aliens come from Mars, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're Martians in particular.
Okay.
So yeah, there's just like via cultural osmosis, I've absorbed these things that you know, I didn't even realize I was doing, but they came out as you know, what I thought the War of the Worlds music should sound like. So yeah, there's a bunch of War of the Worlds like dialogue from the film.
Oh yeah.
In it, there's tons of like sound effects from the film, from the like 50s sound effects, and we talked about using some of the Orson Welles stuff, but the more I dug into the music, the more I realized the Orson Welles stuff was tonally very different from what I was going for. I wanted to do a 50s thing, so all the samples, everything you hear from the this EP is all from the 50s movie, except for the first sound you hear on the last song is from the Spielberg movie. I had to throw in one Spielberg.
Is it
note.
about a peanut butter sandwich?
It should be, but it's not.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so we'll play that very shortly. But I think we'd be remiss not to catch up on a couple of these chats.
Yeah, I know, dude. I've just been sitting here laughing at Dave's comment. Like,
I haven't even read it yet.
Very funny comment. Go ahead and read it.
I haven't even read it yet. Okay, so first let's reply to Groove Stranger. He said something first. Nate, did you know there was a War of the Worlds TV show in 1988? It was a direct sequel to the 50s movie. It was terrible, but a cool premise anyway. So I did not know that. Although in my research to find like dialogue stuff to dub out, I did see like a lot of different made-for-TV War of the Worlds movies that just looked fucking awful. So I didn't look into them at all. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that someone would do that. Do you want to read Dave's?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Dave says, you Yanks are always nicking English-based stories. Nicking, by the way, for everybody else who's not from England, it means stealing. You Yanks are always nicking English-based stories and saving the world with them to make yourselves look superior.
Hell yeah, that's the American way, Dave. That's what we do, Dave.
Fair enough. That's so funny.
That's so good.
Sitting here laughing at that.
Yeah, that's great.
And then Matt, you read.
Oh my God, this is funny. Mac Daddy-O. Hey guys, so did Brandon just get out of bed? It's a great question.
Is it that obvious? I thought I was kind of doing a good job of hiding it, but yeah, man, we do the
we do it in the morning.
California. We start the stream at 10 a.m. where I am,
which musician time is like 6 a.m.
Dude, this is like this is the greatest gift anybody's ever given anybody, that a musician is doing something with you guys that starts at 10 a.m. Come on, man.
Yeah, you fucks.
For us, this is like for what it would be for regular people to start something at 4 a.m. I'm sorry, Mac.
Yeah.
Mac and Dave.
Fucking
you guys.
Dave and Mac.
Breaking balls over here. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I love you too, Mac.
No.
Yes, you're welcome.
Honestly,
and I'm enjoying it. It's for me just as much as for you.
The amount of just complete passivity we've gotten from like most American like people who've engaged with our stuff. We're happy that we have all these English people and Europeans watching our show, because you guys are engaged. You guys know the history of the music we're doing. Like you guys are the audience we want. So, you know, we're really grateful for you guys hanging out and watching.
Yeah, we might convert. Let's just become European people.
Seriously,
instead.
Why not? You already like soccer.
Yeah, I do like soccer. Shit, does that mean we're going to have to stop calling it soccer?
Shit, it's football, isn't it?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Football.
I think both of us would say we prefer European football over American football.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
You definitely
I like
do.
them both. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's like American football's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like those are the really annoying soccer fans who
Yeah.
like, I like soccer, and included in that is how dumb American sports are. That's dude, shut the hell up.
Yeah, go away.
That's stupid. No, football. There's nothing wrong with football. I just am not. I don't really follow it. The professional whatever. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm going to have to call it soccer. Do you know why? Because that's what we call it where I am and from.
Don't call it soccer.
It's the word that we use where I'm from. So that's the word I say. I'm sorry.
You know what we Americans say? If you don't like our stream, love it or leave it. You can get out.
Man, some classic South Park jokes, man.
Yeah.
We're now at the point of time where certain South Park jokes are starting to like leave the culture. And that's a classic one. If you don't like it, you can get out.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
God.
fucking old as fuck. So while Mac Daddy-O's here, I think we kind of answered most of his questions last week. Let's see. There was one I avoided though, because I don't know if it's something you would want to talk about, and I'm not even sure if I want to talk about
It's
it.
like some personal sensitive shit from
No.
my past or something.
No,
What?
no. He's saying,
Oh.
because I think he's trying to get into, music. I think he was saying he's trying to get into music production. Maybe that was someone else last week, but he said, and you know what? Just say pass if you don't want to talk about this. But he says, how much does your equipment cost? It seems like that stuff can't be cheap.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about that. Are you not wanting to?
No, I
Oh,
can't.
because we don't want people to like watch the stream and then come rob us or something?
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Is it uncouth to talk about how expensive your things are? I don't know.
I mean, if it was unprovoked and I was like, hey, guys who didn't ask, let me tell you about how much my shit is worth.
Yeah.
That might be kind of weird. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if someone is asking and the reason for answering it is to, like, support people in making their music, why not?
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah. So, I would say to preface, my our answers for this question is you have to keep in mind that yes, this stuff all costs a lot of money, but we've also been collecting all this stuff for the better part of like most of our adult lives. So it's not like one day we just like bought all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of my guitars I've had since I was like 10 years old. Like, they're just, I've just had them forever. But, for me in particular, my stuff, I have a lot of shit that I've gotten pretty recently. And that's because I started a business with High Noon, and I needed to make a big investment. One, to double down on myself, because literally right before I did High Noon, I was about to quit music for good. I was literally gonna like sell my shit and just be like, fuck it, like this just didn't work out. I don't know, But I told myself if I'm not like doing this professionally, more or less, like where people pay me regularly, by the time I was like 30, then I don't know. I was just so beat up by my experience at Capital. That I don't know. I just kind of had.
You're clearly scarred and want nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
clearly.
exactly. No, Capital's great. I loved my time at Capital, but it was hard. But since I was starting a business, I needed to make a big investment, so I did. So I got this board, but most of the stuff, actually all the stuff, I bought secondhand. I bought it used, so it was considerably less expensive than if you were to buy it brand new. Like this board, for instance, when it came out in 2012, it was I think $12,000 brand new, and I even had my eye on it in like 2015, but it was still like 10 grand. And basically I put together like the specs for a studio that wound up becoming this space while I was living in Spain with some other studio friends. And so I had my eye on this board for like 5 years before I bought it. And I found this board used, I think on Reverb. Someone from San Francisco was selling it for $4,500, including shipping, including a big like container to ship it in. So that was the biggest investment. Everything else here, I've just kind of pieced together, over time and stuff like that. But definitely this was, $4,500 for anything is just a fuckload of money for anything. But it was worth it. I mean, it's going to be the backbone of my studio forever. I'm going to use it for a long, long time.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, let me point at stuff with this camera. This might be easier.
It's a good idea.
So just like with Nate, the gear that I use has been collected over years. So like you said, it wasn't really. I didn't just have like a day where I went on Amazon and just, I'm going to buy all the pieces of my studio today,
Yeah.
Whoops. Wait. How do I?
There you go.
There we go. So let's see. So I've got my computer. I use, this is one of the most expensive things that I use. I use an iMac that I bought used for like $1,200 maybe, or $1,100. It might have been less than that. I might have bought this used, found it on like Facebook Marketplace. It was basically brand new. Well, it was like new, but like 7 years old. I might have bought it for like about $700 or $800.
Yeah.
Something like that. I used this. This is my audio interface right here that I use. This is a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. This is very old. This works on Firewire. I bought this when it was new for between $400 and $500 probably.
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, this is the cheapest possible interface to be using that is still of sufficient quality, professional quality.
Focusrite makes good stuff.
Yeah, right. It's stable and it's transparent.
Yeah.
So, like it's the cheapest that there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And yeah, my income was low, so that's what I needed.
I love that you have these. These are like inexpensive compressors that are in like every single studio. Like those are crucial, awesome compressors.
Yeah, I have two DBX 160As, and so like pretty much every like really truly quality piece of gear that I have, I either got it for free or in some way got like a major discount. So I bought these this was extra gear from Center Staging, which was a studio that I worked at the time. There's just like a bunch of stuff from a warehouse of equipment that they're trying to offload. I bought these for probably 10% of what they're worth. My studio monitors that I use, these are monoprice speakers. Each one of them costs probably like $150. And again, I like a lot of the gear that I use, it is the cheapest that there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I go as low as I can go in quality before leaving like quality.
Yeah.
This thing right here is freaking awesome.
That's probably my favorite piece of gear you have.
Yeah. This is I gotta rearrange my microphone. This is a Watkins Copycat.
So sick.
tape delay. I don't have the tape loop in there right now. I'm just using it to for saturation. I'm not using the tape loop at the moment. I bought this in England, Dave.
Oh,
I
cheerio,
yeah,
Brandon.
I bought it for, I believe it was like 130 or 140 pounds, something like that. I carried it in my hand all back from England. On the plane, it like was sat by my feet on the plane, carried it in my hand through the airport because I didn't trust it anyplace else. Here's a guitar head that I record through sometimes. This was the same center staging situation. You know, it's worth whatever it's worth. This is a Gallien-Kruger 2050 RL. It's like a famous guitar head from the 90s. And it is, again, I paid probably 10% of what it's actually worth. This is the mixer that I use. It's like a baby version of Nate's console.
It's the Allen and Heath one?
Yeah, this Allen and Heath.
Sick. So yeah, it's like the same EQs and everything as mine.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember buying this. I don't remember how I got this. But there are very few things here that I actually pay full price for. And even like this microphone that I use is Shure SM7B. This was a gift, you know, like
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
For Christmas one year, you know, my mom was like, so, you know, what's something that you like really, really, really want? And you know, that happens once every 10 years where she's like actually going to like splurge on an expensive gift. And so whenever something like that comes around, I just use those opportunities whenever somebody's willing to like get me some major gift or something.
Yeah.
I make it gear.
Yep. It's a
Make
good
it
idea.
something that is like more expensive than what I could afford to get myself, you know?
Yeah.
So, and this is just the fact that I actually did pay money for things that are in my studio is a relatively new thing for me. When I started making music completely and solely using gear that I was able to find for free. My studio monitors, when I first started, used to be car speakers that were from my brother's old car, and the amplifier
those are
for it.
Sick.
You remember those? I still have them.
Yeah.
And the amplifier for it was like a home studio.
Yeah.
A home.
It was like a
stereo.
Yeah, it was like a home stereo receiver. It was sick.
Yeah, so it's like consumer grade electronics that were made for a hi-fi or a television set in the home. That's what I used to use.
Yeah.
Because my brother just gave it to me because he didn't need it anymore.
And
it's not meant for what I was using it for, but I had no other option because I didn't have money to spend on anything.
That's set up with those speakers and that receiver was just fucking butter, dude. It sounded so good. Every time I'd walk into your room and you'd be playing something, it was such a treat. Because these speakers he's talking about are fucking huge. They're like really big and they just sound so good.
Yeah.
Speakers that are bigger than most mixed speakers, I would say. Closer like in size to something you'd see in like a mastering studio, although they weren't like mastering speakers per se, but
right. No, definitely not.
It was an impressive sound for sure from those speakers.
The only reason why I'm not using them now is because the space, the house. I don't know if you guys could see in the background of the camera just then how small the place where I live right now is. Yeah. So the next setup, you know, next time we move, next studio setup, I'll probably get those same speakers going again. Yeah. Even though I don't need to, you know, even though like I'm now at the point where I could
Could you
afford
use
and could be using nicer speakers. It's just they're awesome. There's nothing wrong with them, so I use them. You know.
and also well, two things. One, if you had the outputs, you could use your current studios as alts if you wanted.
Right. Yep.
And two, like my speakers that I've been using, I use their Mackie HR824s, and I've had them since college, and they're like, I think they were like $800 for the pair, maybe, but I got them used for significantly less. But over the years, I've thought like, oh, maybe I should upgrade my monitors. Like maybe I should get new monitors. And every time I think about it, I'm like, well, but I know these speakers so well. Like I don't have a problem with how my stuff sounds. I like how my stuff sounds. I enjoy these speakers. And there's like, going back to like my time at Capitol, like when other engineers would come into work, they wouldn't always bring like outboard gear that they liked. They wouldn't always bring their own mics. But every engineer who was like an outside engineer, they would bring their own speakers. They would always bring their own speakers. They wouldn't use Capitol's speakers.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was usually the first thing we'd have to set up if like Ed Cherney or Al Schmidt came in. It was like, it was set up my speakers, because that's what they know. And there's so much value to that. And it's a good reason just to like, once you find speakers you like, just keep using them. I think I'm going to use these forever. I don't know why I would ever change it.
Yeah. When it comes to choosing what speakers you're going to use in your studio, I've definitely found that, the quality or the properties of the speakers themselves is one level of importance. But way more important than that is what is the relationship between the human being and those speakers.
Yep.
How closely related is that connection and that understanding between the human's own ears and brain and just that human's understanding of those speakers.
Yeah.
If you can get that to be strong, and the way that, I don't know about you and other people, but the way that I got that going is by setting them up in a certain way where they're going to stay.
Yeah.
In the certain room where they're going to stay, and then listening to all kinds of music that I know very well. Music that I've been listening to for my entire life, music that I know exactly what it sounds like. Like for me, it's stuff like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and things that I've been listening to since I was a child.
Yeah.
And you just listen to it loud, quiet, medium, listen to it standing over in the corner, just to the point where what comes out of these speakers in your brain sounds normal.
Yeah.
There's no features. Nothing stands out anymore. It just sounds like music to you.
Right.
Normal. And then once it's like that, anything that you're working on that's coming out of those speakers, if it's dark, it will sound dark to you.
Yep.
If it's too bright, it'll sound bright to you. If there's something off about wonky in this certain part, it will sound weird to you. It won't take effort to be able to identify things that you need to change. And then mixing and working on stuff and crafting sounds with it is super easy because you just sit there and you just make it sound good.
Yeah.
And if it sounds good to you, because of that relationship, congratulations, you've just made something that sounds good.
Right.
And you don't have to fight through the gear or try to work around the properties of the speakers at all.
Yeah, and it helps you understand that it's not about the gear. It's really not. It's more about you and your relationship with the gear, just like what you said. You could make a good record with any kind of speakers as long as you know the speakers and you're familiar with their characteristics, and especially if you have other sound systems you can try them on, like in your car, or and that's another thing. Another good way to learn your speakers is like if you're doing a mix on your speakers, even if they're speakers you don't like or that you think there's something wrong with, or if you want to upgrade or something, you could still totally use them. The way you get around it is do a mix on your speakers, make it sound really good, right? Good. Make it sound as presentable as you'd want. Then take your mix, put it on a CD, put it on an MP3, whatever. Go listen to it in your car. Take notes. And I've done this before. I've gone out I've gone out in my car and just with a notepad and just you just write down what is different about your mains and your car stereo. And then you do the same thing with your headphones, and you do it with a different pair of headphones. And like on my TV, I have like a Bluetooth thing on my TV, like an AirDrop.
Oh, you check mixes on your TV too?
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I have like a sound bar and like a sub for my TV, and this studio doesn't have a real sub. It just has a sub pack, which I love, and it's fine. But so I'll go check stuff out on my TV because there's a sub in the living room. And then if you just take notes on everything, like maybe in your car, maybe it sounds a little thin, but maybe when you listen to it with a sub, it's like the bottom end is too boomy. And then when you go listen to it on your speakers, if it sounds perfect on your speakers, then you know that there are characteristics of those speakers that are masking issues of your mix, right? So maybe your speakers are a little thin, or they're a little bottom heavy, or whatever it is. Like for instance, these speakers, the ones that I use, they have a noticeable boost at about between like 100 and like 200, which for me is like right on the line of stuff you might want to start mitigating, like because 100 is like that's like your kick and your bass. It's like right where like kind of it starts to tail off, or like where it's like strongest in a lot of songs. But 200 is like you're getting more into like, okay, that's kind of where the thwop of the snare is, and like, but once you get past 250 into the 300 zone, you really want to kind of mitigate some of that stuff because it can get a little muddy. But like these speakers, they boost like probably 150 to 250. And so sometimes I've done mixes on this stuff, and then I listen to it in my headphones or something, and I'm like, oh, it's super thin. And it's because when I'm doing mixes on these speakers,
You're trying to make it sound flat on the speakers.
Yeah.
But that's not flat.
Not flat, exactly.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I used a tool called Sonar Reference Works, which is a really cool tool if you're working in an acoustically, what's the word I'm looking for? Like challenging space, right? So if you're working in like a bedroom, or like I did for many, many, many years, or even if you have headphones that aren't flat, like if you have like Beats by Dre or like your only fucking headphones, there's a plug-in that you basically put on your mix bus, and the way it works is if you're using it with speakers, you get a reference mic, and it's an Omni, the capsule's Omni, and it's a reference microphone, so it's totally flat, and basically just like if you were capturing impulse responses for like reverbs or whatever, it's kind of a similar thing. Like you use the reference microphone and you place it in different, you probably remember me doing this at the house, like when we lived together, but you place it around the room and around the mix position, the mic, and it basically will, using like 20 or 30 different points, it does frequency sweeps at every point. And then it basically does like a spatial 3D map of your room, and based on that map it'll tell you, okay, these speakers in this room have a boost at this place, they're thin in this frequency range. And so the plugin creates your own individualized frequency curve for those speakers in that room, and it creates a completely flat response. So it kind of it pulls the rug out from a bad sounding room, right? So you can,
or at least it's designed. It's meant to. It's meant
to, and it helps. Whether it's perfect or not is a different thing. But
it worked for you.
It did. I loved it for a long time.
What's it called again?
Sonar Reference Works. I think they're on version 4 or 5 now. But super great. I really loved them, and it really helped me for a long time. But I kind of stopped using it because I realized, okay, this is also kind of a false image of my speakers. Like I think it'd be better for me just to know what my speakers sound like rather than try to compensate for my speakers. You know, it's more valuable just to be able to, know what these speakers sound like and what they do.
Right, exactly, because that process of tuning and like automatic compensation for different curves and hot points and low points. I really believe that can be achieved like by the human brain.
Yeah.
If you can tune yourself to the speakers, and like I said before, the way that I did that is, or the room.
Yeah.
Well, wait, what I mean is like the way that I did that is by listening to enough music, other people's music that I know well, listening to it enough to the point where the speakers don't sound any particular way to me anymore.
Yeah.
I've gotten used to the speakers. So rather than tuning the speakers, I tune myself.
Right.
I tune me.
Yep.
So that whatever comes out of these speakers sounds normal.
Yeah.
And so then when there's something up with my mix, I can tell it doesn't sound normal to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know how we got on that tangent.
Well, someone asked a question of
about
how much
gear.
How much does our gear cost?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say that like when it comes to what should you spend money on and how much money should you spend on your music production gear, I'd say two things. First of all, don't wait for it. Make music with what you have.
100%.
First of all, and when it is time to spend money, let necessity guide you.
Yeah.
Spend it on what is like missing from your ability to make the music that you want, because you'll always start to find things like, God damn, if I just had one of these.
Yep.
Like it's to the point now where I actually like really need one of these specifically to be able to, you know what I mean? So like, don't get speakers if the only reason why is just because you just feel like you should have better speakers.
Yeah,
that's not a good reason.
Speakers.
Yeah. If it's like, I hear in my head this like synthesizer sound and I just don't have a synth that even is capable of that kind of a sound, like spend the money there.
Yeah.
Spend the money on, whatever it is. Like it'll become obvious that you're actually being held back by missing some piece of gear.
Yeah.
Spend the money there rather than just feeling like you should have a higher quality, whatever.
Yeah. Don't confuse a wish list with like a need list. They're different things. There's stuff you want and there's stuff you need. And it's important to be able to, discern between the two. But
you'd be surprised that how far, how many years, and how much quality you can go through without ever swapping out certain pieces of gear. You may get really far and still be using like an embarrassingly low quality piece of gear in your studio.
Yep.
And only because you never needed to change it.
Yeah.
It never held you back.
All my most popular EPs on Bandcamp, I made all of them on my laptop. Like no console, none of this shit.
Go.
Didn't have any of this shit. Just made it on my fucking laptop. Had the speakers, but that was
it. Wasn't holding you back.
No, not at all.
You were able to make it without needing to step up.
Yeah. Well, good question, Mac Daddio. We appreciate it. If anyone else has questions that they would like to ask us, feel free to email us at blackmarketreggae.
Oh yeah, put that in the chat
at gmail.com. That's in the description as well. But we will gladly, excitedly spend way too much time answering your questions on the stream.
Yeah.
It's always really fun for us.
Oh, Dave's getting sassy again.
Oh, I
think
saw that.
probably when I was showing the Watkins copycat, I would
Yeah.
guess. Said,
Yeah.
You need us.
Yeah.
We do need you.
We do.
Dude, oh my God. I was talking about this. I touched on this just a little bit last time, but yeah, no, I'm a complete Anglophile. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I don't even really know why.
You are.
I'm like obsessed with England. I love England and the rest of the UK, like to a really strange degree.
Yeah. I actually know quite a few people like that. It's very look, England's an easy place to love, man. It's
Yeah.
it's where we came from in a lot of ways. So I get it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm a something file. I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure. I definitely do love England, and I love Europe. If I was going to live anywhere else besides the United States, it would 100% be somewhere in Europe. That's where I'd want to go. But anyway.
And that's coming from someone who has lived in Europe. So
Yeah, I'd go back.
You know the difference.
So we probably should have done this earlier, but who cares? Let's pull our Eno card of the day.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
Wow.
Oblique strategies.
Yeah.
Eno Card.
Oblique card. Okay.
For people who don't know what this is, brief recap.
Yeah, so in the 70s, Brian Eno, when he would develop creative block in the studio, he wanted to come up with a fun way to overcome that. So him and his buddy, they created a bunch of basically flashcards with these very esoteric, eclectic solutions, sayings on them that were used to help mitigate creative block. So I bought some of those cards from England, is where they came from.
Which Dave is making clear that he's not. He's not. Where are you from, Dave?
Yeah, where are you from, Dave?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Don't wait for him to answer. Keep going.
Yeah. So today's Eno card we pulled randomly from the stack is...
Yay.
How would you have done it? How would you have done it?
How would you have done it?
How would you have done it?
Huh.
It's a very interesting card.
How would you have done it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're not working on anything musical today, but if you're out in your life today and think how that phrase would apply to any given situation. That's what I like to do with these cards. Even if it's not a musical problem I'm working on, how would you have done it? It's something that will turn the cogs in your brain. It will help foment the creative juices. Okay, we just got Dave says he's from Wales. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah, good for you. Wales is wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually was really close to going to a music school in Wales as opposed to Berkeley. I had thought about it, but it didn't happen. Okay, we have Devazine says, just joined. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, huh? Look forward to that. Richard Burton with an echo delay. His voice is scary enough already. I used to hide under the bed when I heard that album. Wonderful. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're hoping you hide under the bed when you hear our War of the Worlds as well. Really, really happy with the chat today. Hope you guys are having fun with it showing up on the stream. That was a very simple thing to do that every other podcast stream does that I'm really glad we figured out too. But
Slowly getting with the times.
Yeah. Also, help me and Brandon solve a very teeny spat we're having about the new
Huge fight.
Huge fight.
We're gonna get divorced.
Huge fight. Podcast is over.
Mommy and daddy are fighting. I'm not gonna say which one of us is mommy and which one of us is daddy.
Okay, so, and I would love to hear your responses in the chat. If you're watching right now, I don't have the ability to do a poll right now, but if you're watching, just say so in the chat which one you like better. Do you like the scrolling links above as they are now, where everything's scrolling by constantly, or did you like the links better when they were just static, just sitting above our heads? We would really appreciate your feedback because ultimately you guys are the ones that have to watch the show. You know, for us, it doesn't make quite as big a deal. But okay, we already got a pretty overwhelming response from someone. So yeah,
from our tech captain, Groove Stranger.
Thank you, Tech Captain. That's Groove Stranger's now official title, is Tech Captain. Tech Capitan. I spelled captain wrong.
Capitan.
Okay, so I want to hear from more people, but Brandon really wants to go back to static. I thought this would be fun to try. If you guys don't like it, though, we're obviously going to change it because you guys have to watch the show. I'm the Capitan now.
Look at me.
That's good shit. All right. So, okay. I think we've got a decent amount of people watching. We've beaten around the bush long enough, and I'm talking about since we started working on the album.
Yeah, not just today.
Not just today.
Are we going to have a watch and listen party?
Watch and listen party. That's right.
Guys ready for the party?
Yeah. Oh, Groove Stranger's got to go. But Groove Stranger, the EP is releasing today, possibly tonight at the latest. So you'll get to hear it, I'm sure. So no worries. Thanks for tuning in, though.
Yeah, man. Drive safe.
Yeah. Okay,
Static,
Andrew
so we
also
can
says
focus
static.
on
All right, you know what? Actually, fuck you guys.
It's revealed which one of us was voting for static and which one of us was voting for moving.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, we'll change it back.
Yeah, screw this. This stream is over.
Yeah, fuck this. All right, we'll change it after the show. Well, next week we'll be back to normal.
That's pretty funny.
Next week we'll be back to normal. Okay, so the thing is this stupid if I do it this way?
No, that's cool.
We can watch it like this, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so we are going to debut the War of the Worlds. Get ready, folks. As soon as I have it ready.
So this is we're gonna watch this is a video. This is video of you dubbing this live. So
yes,
what you see of Nate Black Market Bridges doing in the studio, he's actually mixing. He's doing the live dub mix of the music that we're hearing.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's like everything you hear, like once we record everything, all the dub stuff, the effects, all the cool, trippy, weird stuff, I do all that live in one pass. There's no automation. You'll be able to watch it like on the console and everything I'm doing live, but it's a real like old school dub mix approach to the EP. So
yeah. And I haven't seen this all the way through. I've skimmed through, just because I was too curious. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't keep myself from listening to and watching little bits of it. So I'm a bit familiar, but I haven't done like a complete all the way through, top to bottom, listen through, watch through. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And for anybody who hasn't seen it and is interested, the past like 8 streams or whatever is a lot of us recording the tracks that are in these dubs.
Yeah. So if you're curious how this all came to fruition and you're joining us for the first time or something, go back to our other dozen streams about War of the Worlds and you'll be able to see. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit of morning whiskey.
All right.
Into my coffee, and let's have a little watch party.
All right. Well, and before we start, God damn it, thank you, Brandon, a.k.a. Wise Owl, for all your help on this. This has been yet another fruitful creative endeavor we've done together, and I can't wait to do a million more.
Fruitful than a motherfucker.
Hell yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Without further ado, here is Black Market, the War of the Worlds. Oh.
No one would have believed in the middle of the 20th century that human affairs were being watched keenly.
Wait, let me start it over.
By intelligences greater than man.
Okay, fuck it. Here we go.
stages of exhaustion. Across space with instruments and intelligences of which we have scarcely dreamed, searching for another world which they could migrate. Of all the worlds that the green with vegetation, bright with water,
Choir sounds nice.
possess
Yeah, dude.
a cloudy atmosphere eloquent of fertility. It did not.
Love the hat.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
This could be the beginning of the end for the human race.
That chord change is so nice.
It's so good.
Slasher across country like knives, wiping out everything that's driving it away from us.
Orfisa.
Yeah. Thanks to John Roy for that one.
Yeah, it's John Roy's idea.
I'm very serious in this dub video.
We're doing serious dub.
Yeah.
I like when you're in character.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, this is a good section.
Panic that sweeps around the globe as the great masses of
So good.
Yeah, this is that classic black market sound. It's like back to the roots.
Yep. Kind of a awkward hit of the filter there, but
space we were being scrutinized
works.
and studied until the time of our nearest approach to the orbit of Mars during a pleasant summer season.
Do we want to pause and talk about each song, or do you want to just watch the whole thing?
I'm fine with it. I mean that was fucking amazing.
We could do quick thoughts.
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, that song just fucks.
Yeah, that song fucks.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite on the EP. I'm really glad we started it with that one.
Okay.
But
cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see the rest.
Definitely my favorite tune on the EP.
Yeah, whatever the weird filter thing was that you said, I didn't notice anything.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
There's
lots of tasty dub moments in there, man.
I basically have two different ways of. One of my favorite things to do when I'm dubbing is to like high pass your bass and make it sound like super thin, and then throw that through a delay or a reverb or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So there was kind of an awkward hit of it, but basically one of the ways I can use one of my filters like an outboard effect, or I can use the onboard EQ on my console. And this EP I used the EQ on my console instead, just to try it. Sounded really good. I do it later in the EP as well, and I think it's a better section that kind of shows that off. But yeah, so this EP is going to be kind of like a little mini movie. So that was the intro to the actual movie,
Chapter
The War
1.
of the Worlds. That was chapter 1. So we're going to kind of slowly. This is a little 20-minute spoilers of the actual 1950s whatever movie. So yeah, all right. Next tune.
Next tune.
Song.
What chapter is the next one about? What stage of the story is this next one about?
So this one was called In the Beginning There Was Dub. So it's kind of the narrator kind of going over like, oh, the fucking Martians, they were like, where's our fucking... Mars is dead, we need to go invade Earth. So it's kind of like the beginnings of the invasion. The next one is The Coming of the Martians, which was originally supposed to be the first song. This is the next song is actually the very first song we ever worked on for this project.
Okay.
And this is kind of the initial invasion of Earth. Okay.
So the last one was Here They Come. This one is now they're like landing.
Yeah, they're here. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep. Here we go.
Here we go.
From the innocent night sky they came.
Live theremin.
Ooh.
Well, synth, but still.
Is this key bass?
No. No, this is your real bass.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is the one with the weird chords.
Yeah.
It's groovy as hell, though. This footage is amazing.
Yeah. This is all from the movie. I love that. The Risk board. So shit's fucked up.
That guy's on fire.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that guy in real life, when he did that burn, it was like really fucked up. Like he was on fire for way too long. Yeah, it's gnarly. Here you go. There's a little bit of your filtered bass right here.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, points, Andrew. Full style points. Hell yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah, it would have been way boring if you're just wearing a t-shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this view now, even though it's reversed, because now you can see like the drum machine like keeping time as well. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I like this view of just the craft just still sitting there in the woods.
Yeah.
Still sitting there. It's like this war going on.
It's like,
Just sitting there in the woods.
where's my war? Where is it?
The ultimate confrontation.
Nice transition.
Yeah, man, I love the sound of this. It just turned out so good. And also, if this isn't clear enough, this shot you can see my tape machine rolling. Everything you're hearing is being recorded straight to tape, and that's what is on Bandcamp. That's what we're listening to right now, is the output of that tape machine.
Yeah. It's rolling right there on that camera.
Yep.
Yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah, dude. I should have said directed by Black Market, but oh well.
Yeah, just strike through and
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So fun. Did a couple fade outs on this EP too. I usually don't do that, but these ones worked particularly well with some
Yeah.
fade outs.
It's a classic move.
Yeah.
Well, that was amazing.
yeah.
I can't decide which one of those first two I like better. I
I
like
lo-
them both.
I love that one because it's a little more down tempo than the first one. I found a lot of my stuff winds up being like, it's very like high energy, like almost all
Yeah.
the time, and that's because of the. I think a lot of that was because of the Horseman stuff, and now that's just kind of become like a big part of the Black Market style, is like some kind of very heavy, up tempo stuff. So I liked that one was a little more down tempo. And yeah, for anyone that's curious, like basically the sound of like the guitars and the piano, like the skank, it's all you're hearing is the return of my Mutron biphase. So basically I mix the instruments via the auxes, and I basically just use the return of those effect sends as my main skank. So that's why it's so saturated with like with phaser. Yeah, and it even, since it's a stereo effects return, you even get a little bit of like a stereo sense. When you hear parts where the skank is just playing through normal without any delay, the phaser is causing this kind of stereo movement to the skank that is super, super cool. Yeah, Dave Hassel. Have to agree, Brandon. I like them both equally, but in their own way. I think you get what I mean. Well, that's
I sure do.
That's the goal of the album. So this next one is Space Technology, and this one is kind of just showing like the silliness of the battle, how silly and futile war is. At least that's what I took from after I put it together with the footage. I was like, this is really funny. And it just kind of shows, like, I love making these EPs, especially these like kind of movie genre ones, because recontextualizing footage with new music is like, it's always really fascinating. Like it just kind of it makes you think about what you're seeing in a different way because of the different music that's under it. So I definitely think about that when you watch this one, because there's a lot of like war footage, but the song is very like happy and like silly kind of. But yeah, this is Space Technology, the one where me and Brandon recorded that backwards guitar and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. That was a fun stream.
Yeah, and
this is I'm really excited about this one because they before any of the dub mixing, this one was my favorite one musically.
Nice.
Just as it was. So I'm excited to see this.
So this one has synth bass that Brandon's playing, as well as that, what is it, AmeriChord? What is it called?
It's a Casio SA2.
Nice.
Let's see if so it's this thing.
Do you remember the melody?
Nope.
Okay. That's the sound though. That's the exact sound. There it is.
No.
Close.
Something like that.
You'll hear it. He does a lot better job on the song itself.
Yeah. I pretty routinely will like learn something, play it for the recording, and then
forget about it
and then it leaves my brain.
That's how I am with all this stuff. It's like I know it the day I'm recording it, and the next day if I had to play it again, I'd be like kind of fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, song number 3, Space Technology. Here we go.
Right.
This one's very dub robot-y.
Withholding the skank on this one.
Yeah. It's like, here we go, fighting against aliens because we're fucking dumb.
I see what you mean about the futility.
Yeah. So good.
I love how like the traditional chords and melody really stand out.
Yeah.
To the other songs.
Yep. Yeah, it really does. It's much more grounded in like regular reggae. That's the only shorty on the album.
It's beautiful. And the drum pattern, you know,
Yeah.
like Gregory Isaacs' number one, the early snare gallop.
Yeah. Yeah, the way this drum machine can like shuffle is I'm impressed with it. It's not perfect, obviously, but it gives it a it definitely gives it the reggae like feel that it needs. Like it definitely works. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
this thing.
I gotta say, I was really skeptical about the idea of like, hey, let's do
Drum machine reggae.
dub album where the drums is all done on an 808.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
Yep.
Like, I was kind of worried that it would be sterile,
Totally. Yeah.
be brittle, kind of rigid, but
Yeah.
it's very groovy.
And the way I think we've counteracted that is like, we've added so many like human elements to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
the percussion on every song. I really minimized any like quantization or anything. I don't think I did any of it on this album, which I used to do all the time. I kind of don't do it anymore. But yeah, like a lot of use of shakers and like the bongo drum thing. It just really kind of helps fight back against the drums sounding too stale. So yeah, I dig it.
All right.
Awesome. Got plenty of people still watching, so thank you guys for all digging. So yeah, here's
That's good response. Seems like
Great
people are
response.
loving it. That's cool.
great response.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, that song was, I would say, in the story time frame, was kind of like the meat of the fighting between the worlds. And this is the end. So this contains like the ending monologue of the movie, and it kind of shows what happens and how people beat the aliens. So
And this is called what?
this one's called Under the Martian Heel, which is, I think is something from that's either a quote or a chapter from the book. I can't remember, which I don't think corresponds to the end of the book itself. I think it's more from the beginning, but it's too good not to use.
Yeah, it's an amazing phrase.
Yeah, I probably
Under
should have
the
used it on
Martian
another
heel.
earlier song, but whatever.
Whatever.
Another great track. Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it.
Welsh ass Dave over here. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. All right. Last song. Here we go.
Okay.
That's a Spielberg sound effect.
I was gonna say, is that the fucking like
That's the tripod sound
the
from the
Christopher Nolan sound?
pretty much.
It's awesome. That's a good choice to start with that. Oh yeah, Firehouse Rock one.
Yep. Oh, that's great.
Classic Dave. What the fuck is that?
That's the alien hand. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, this is when it died.
Yeah.
They're seeing it die.
Yeah, because basically, like the aliens like catch the cold, and they don't have any immunities against it, so
They're unvaccinated.
they're unvaccinated.
The Martians have no resistance to bacteria in our atmosphere. We have long
So good.
It's a good moment.
Once they had breathed our air, germs which no longer affect us began to kill them.
This part's awesome.
What a shot.
That weirdly timed hit on the perk synth
The end came swiftly.
lined up with that shot like so well, and it wasn't even on purpose. It was just happened to be that way. Some more reverb bass, courtesy of Scientist.
Yeah. Very scientist move.
Yep.
Yeah, this is good.
After all that men could do had failed,
That's a great question.
the Martians were destroyed and humanity was saved by the littlest which God in his wisdom had put upon this earth.
Did he say by God and his wisdom?
So he says, so Earth was saved by the littlest things. And he meant like micro bacteria or whatever. So there we go.
Yay!
War of the Worlds.
Yay. Good job.
Yay. War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds. Awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. Good
Great
job.
response. A lot of people in the chat today. It seems like all you guys are digging it. So
I enjoyed that.
we are happy, man. It blows my mind how, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. Making this EP was a little bit of a slog, but we did it. And the finished product, I could not be more happy with. Like, I'm like now it really just feels like it feels different than what it even was a week ago. It's like totally its own beast now, and it lives forever. this way forever now. So I mean, it's awesome. I'm really glad you guys all dig it. Seems like a lot of you guys really like the last song there too, which is awesome. Nate Bublitz had a funny question. He says, was this your Halloween project or did I miss it this year? Actually, I was supposed to do a double like 2 EPs for Halloween, and this was going to be the first one. And then we did like Halloween, like the movie, we did the soundtrack, dub remix soundtrack thing for that one. So there is a Halloween EP. It's the latest one. It's called Halloween. That was the Halloween one. This will be the December release that I'll put out probably like right now.
You gonna release it now?
Yeah. Should we do it?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it.
Let's release that.
Yeah. So I'll put the link in the chat. Oh. Go ahead.
Okay. Bye, Amir. Amir's got to go.
Oh, yeah. Bye, Amir. Thanks, Amir.
Thank you, Dave. Thank
you
for
all the way from Berlin,
the kind words. I think that's the first nice thing you've said to me so far, Dave. Just kidding.
That's funny.
But yeah, seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on back next time, Amir.
Yeah, please do. Always fun having you in the chat.
Yeah, all you guys. This is so much better when you guys are here. This is cool.
All right, y'all.
Hanging out with everybody.
War of the Worlds is published.
Yay.
It is released. Hell yeah.
That was kind of a weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, War of the Worlds is out. I'm going to drop the link in the chat so you guys can all go check it out right now if you want to.
Gotta promote that on the Instagram.
Pressing F5 on Bandcamp. Awesome. Yeah, I just dropped the link in the chat if you guys want to go download it or whatever. It's free as always, but donate if you can. And better than paying for it on Bandcamp, just become a subscriber on Patreon or subscriber on Bandcamp. That's the best way to help me and Brandon keep doing this thing. So if you're gonna throw $5 on it right now, save it. Throw $5 towards us on Patreon for a couple months at least. You know, that would be awesome.
There you go. And as always, if you're not in a position to be able to afford it at the moment, that's okay. Listen, it's all streamable and listenable for free. It's the same as all of our music, all the music there on Nate's glorious wall of black market music, and same on my Bandcamp, which is scrolling. Wait, it's almost there.
It's almost there.
So here it comes.
Not
Slowly.
for long.
Wise owl sound, strolling around the corner like a big wise owl sound.bandcamp.com. There it is. There it goes.
Oh my God. You guys are fucks. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say. Here I am trying to make the stream look pro, and everyone's like, it's dumb. I can't read that fast.
It's not that I can't read that fast. I can read much faster than that.
That's.
I wish it was here sooner. Okay, wise. Okay.
Okay.
S is next.
All right,
okay,
we get it.
O. Okay. And then
Oh man.
Anyway,
Wow.
but yeah, if you can't afford it, it's all right. Keep listening. Listen to your heart's content, and then, once you're able.
Yeah.
Once you get a little bit of cash, spend it on yourself, spend it on your loved ones, and then give us some money.
Yep, please.
Yay.
It's Christmas. We need your money.
Yeah.
Frankly. Wow. Well, I'm really glad that was it. That's the final Black Market of 2021. Black Market release of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, except for the secret thing that we're working on that we can't talk about.
There's a secret project
that we're not going to tell you about.
Yeah, we will, but not now.
Yeah,
but I think that's coming out in 2022 anyway.
Yeah, that's later next year.
Yeah.
But
so what you said stands. That's last Black Market for 2021.
Yep.
Great year. Good job this year, Nate.
Great year. In total, how many did we do this year? We did Eraserhead, Elton John, Grateful Dead, Kung Fu, Blondie, Halloween, and War of the Worlds. So that's 7 EPs this year. Not counting all the fucking Wise Owl sings his favorites tunes. We did as well.
Let's see how many of those are there. Let's see of 2020 wow. 2020 wow. Let's see, did Country Down come out in 2021? Yes, it did. That one came out in January. So what we did, Wise Owl sings his favorites 2, 3, 4, 5, and the plan is to release number 6 before the year is out.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll make it, but yeah, we did the Beck song, the Tears for Fears song, the David Bazan song, and the Talking Heads song.
So good. Such a
Oh,
great.
there it is on the Wise Owl Band.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a great year for music for us. I don't know. I guess I'm treating this like it's a year in review, but there's still a few weeks in the year left. But whatever. But
Hey, it's December. We're allowed to start.
yeah, there's
Talking
already
about it.
album of the year lists coming out and shit. So yeah,
Yeah, the Spotify sent out the
year in review wrapped
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, hi friend. You guys can't see this yet, but there's a guest on the podcast right now.
Oh, are you talking about? Wait,
I'm talking about that.
you talking about my cat?
Yep. Was that your cat?
Yeah, it's Stevie.
Hey Stevie.
Right, she'll talk. Maybe my favorite thing about Stevie is how narrow her paws are. Her front paws are like so tiny and like thin. Like her arms. You know how sometimes paws are like wider than your wrists, or like, but her whole arm gets more narrow and pointy as it goes along.
That's funny.
And yeah, no,
She's like a chopstick
yeah.
or something. Something that gets wide and then narrow. Something like that.
We should set her up with her own headphones and microphone. I think she's falling asleep.
Aw. Wow. Stevie, you are one of a kind, Stevie.
She's the best cat
Yeah.
ever. Oh my god.
I was thinking about having Elton on the stream today, but he's such a fucking wacko. Like, just,
He's very high energy.
he's a
right?
handful, man. He really
That's
is.
Nate's dog.
Yeah, my
Elton.
dog. He's still a puppy. He's only a year and a half, so he's still very much like, just wants to fucking destroy and wreck shit and just play constantly. Like I was in bed last night. It was 10:45, and he comes sprinting from the hallway with a frisbee in his mouth, jumps like from the fucking edge of the bed all the way, just jumps onto my lap, like hits me right in the gut, almost knocks the wind out of me, and just like puts a frisbee down and then just sits on my lap. And I'm like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. There's no fucking way I'm playing frisbee with you right now. There's no way, dude. It's not happening. It's just not gonna fucking happen. And then we played frisbee for a while. Yeah, so I think he's in puppy jail right now. He's in his crate, I think, just sleeping or something.
Payback for the
Yeah.
frisbee incident. So you trespass with the frisbee. First thing that happens is you play frisbee.
Yeah.
Then you get punished.
Then you go to
for
bed.
bringing the frisbee.
Then you go to bed, and then tomorrow
Tomorrow I'll punish you
you're fucked.
for what you did last night. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man. Wow. Well, there's War of the Worlds.
There it is.
I guess, do we have anything else to address today?
Is there anything from the mailbag? Or did
Nothing
we
else
already
from the
do that?
mailbag. It was just Mac Daddy-O. So please, if you guys want to spur on a discussion or segment on the show, send us an email at blackmarketreggae@gmail.com, and we will answer your questions on the show.
Yeah. And if you don't, we won't have any questions to answer.
Yeah.
And it'll be weird. And then each time we'll get to that part of the show and it'll be like, let's go to the mailbag. And, well, it's empty.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, please send us your questions. We appreciate it. Well, should we wrap it up?
Sure.
I guess so. We kind of came and accomplished what we set out to accomplish today, which was yap your ear off and then listen to music.
Yes. And also to, once again, honor Robbie Shakespeare.
Please, yeah.
Thank you.
Rest in peace,
for-
Robbie Shakespeare.
For making the world of reggae way bigger.
Yeah.
Way bigger than it would have been
Way better, too.
otherwise. And way better, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll reiterate, if you guys can, I think in the next 24 hours or so, it is Bandcamp Friday. So all your favorite creators on Bandcamp, they get a little more money today than they normally would, which is why you'll probably be seeing a lot of releases coming out in the next 24 hours or so. I think it starts officially at like 7 p.m. my time tonight, so it's like later tonight. But
Yeah, so what is it? It's a thing that Bandcamp started doing during the pandemic, right?
and they're just going to keep doing it, I think.
Okay.
Which
So
is pretty
it's
awesome.
one Friday a month. All the purchases that you make from artists that are on Bandcamp, Bandcamp does not take any percentage of the sales on that one day.
Yep.
So whatever money you spend goes 100% to the artist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the day to go on your Bandcamp shopping spree.
Yeah, go
All your
shopping.
favorite Bandcamp artists.
Stop by Wise Owl's Bandcamp, which is right there. Not
There it is.
particularly
Oh,
hard to
nice.
find. It's pretty much just right there. It's not even hard to find, really. It's always coming right around the corner. So, yep, it's right there. That's where you can find it. Now it's just right above me. It's been here for quite a while now. You can pretty much just read it the whole time we've been talking. But yeah, so go there. Go to my Bandcamp as well. Just put out a new EP with Mr. Wise Owl here. In lieu of that, support us on Patreon, become a subscriber on Bandcamp. That stuff really helps. If you can't do that, all the music's for free anyway. And if you're going to download our stuff for free, follow us on Bandcamp. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on Twitch. Go subscribe to Wise Owl on Facebook. We actually today started broadcasting the show straight onto Wise Owl's Facebook page as well. So you can watch us there. We're trying to make this thing, you can watch it anywhere. There's no fucking excuse not to watch our show.
Watch it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you can watch our, okay, he's not joking. You can watch Black Market Live on LinkedIn. You can do that.
No excuse.
No excuses.
Seriously, like you said, even if at the moment, don't have any money to contribute to the cause, that's perfectly fine. And any like kind of follows, whatever one of the things that platform has, if you click a subscribe, click a follow, click a thumbs up, click a like, leave a comment, whatever, that helps computer algorithms and shit put us in front of new people. And that is a thing that really helps us out and benefits us. That costs no money.
Yeah, help us subscribe and help us get Stevie her own pair of headphones.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's what we really need. That cat is so fucking funny, man.
Dude, look at cute.
I think she's seeing herself or something and is having an existential crisis.
She just kind of has that look on her face a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, man.
I wish she would say something. This is like the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, she
pushing
pushed
the
the
mic.
mic away.
It's like,
Fuck
"Mm-mm."
off, Brandon. You
Nope.
fuck.
Don't talk. You don't want to talk?
No, I just heard her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she just did something. That's funny. Okay. Thanks, y'all. We'll be back next week, and next week we're gonna try and add another outlet. We're gonna try to do the show for free on Bandcamp. So we're gonna bring the
Nice.
show directly to you guys, which is, I know a lot of you guys are coming from Bandcamp, so
Yeah.
we've got
Cool.
4,200 followers on Bandcamp, so we're hoping we'll have a decent amount of people watching on Bandcamp next week.
Thank you so much for the support, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for being with us, being part of the fun, part of the conversation. Dave, Andrew, Amir, everybody else whose names I'm not saying right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas to you too, Dave, if we don't see you before then.
Yep.
And yeah.
Enjoy, guys.
All right.
Enjoy your week. Enjoy the new EP. We'll see you guys next week. We love you. Bye.